Hi everybody, hope you're well. This video is requested by Kapida Art and Chocolate Chip Cookie 16. So this is going to be a let's play, but I'm also going to be looking at the stories surrounding the legendary horses. So let's go and have a look. So when I tried to do this earlier, I didn't realize that you had to click and drag it open. So now we know. So let's start off with the prologue. The day Alexander the Great, barely 12 years old at the time, challenged and tamed the stallion Bucephalus, I knew that he was destined for an extraordinary future. But I did not know then that our fates would be intertwined forever. I was looking for a sturdy and resilient battle horse, and I knew that a merchant from Thessaly was coming to the court of Philip II, King of Macedonia, to present his finest horses. I immediately noticed a magnificent black stallion, eyes burning with pride, as fierce as he was powerful, that would not allow anyone to approach him. "I want that one," cried Alexander haughtily. "He shall be yours if you manage to tame him, my boy," said King Philip, smirking. The boy had intuitively understood that the steed feared nothing but his own shadow. In a single athletic bound he mounted him, and after a fierce battle of unyielding wills he was able to turn him to face towards the sun. Soothing the beast, Bucephalus was one of those horses who will only obey a single master, and I knew he would be loyal to him forever. King Philip then uttered a few prophetic words. "Macedonia will not be enough to satisfy your hunger, and you will have to conquer the entire world." The night before a battle against the Indians, a battle that I knew could not be won, I managed to drug Alexander and Bucephalus. During the battle against the Indian archers perched in their wooden towers atop indestructible combat elephants, we lost a great number of men and horses. Alexander, though weakened by the effects of the drugs, was obstinate and urged the troops to continue fighting. Bucephalus fell when confronting an elephant, and Alexander was knocked unconscious. I ordered the army to withdraw, and had Alexander evacuated on a stretcher. But first I removed the seal of power and broke each point with my sword. 5 trusted riders were each entrusted with carrying a point of the star as far away as possible, so to as ensure that nobody would ever be able to bring them back together again. The 5th horseman, my best lieutenant, mounted Bucephalus, disorientated by the effects of the drugs and his fall, and he in turn set out to one of the ends of the earth. Alexander had the city of Alexandria Bucephalus erected at the point where Bucephalus had fallen. He was never the same again. We abandoned the conquest of India and retreated. Alexander died of malaria in Babylon, just before his 33rd birthday. The predictions of the Queen Olympians became true. I became the King of Egypt from atop of the lighthouse that had erected at the point of Alexandria, the city founded by Alexander. I see the extent of his realm, and that has prospered under my rule, whilst also trying to be fair and respectful to Egyptian customs. I have just celebrated my 80th birthday, and in my long life I have never seen any of the 5 riders again. The world is much too vast for a single person to attempt to govern it without causing its destruction. I pray to Zeus and Anum that until the end of time no one will ever unite the 5 fragments of the seal, Alexandria the Great. So that is the end of the prologue. So now we shall start chapter 1. Altair, I am an idiot. I should have listened to you. You who would have always prepared to gallop unbridled. You seemed restive, shaking your head and whipping your tail to make me understand that the ground was not safe under this treacherous snow. After the great summer drought, this winter has been particularly long and harsh, and on the day I chose to face it, a white storm hit us, blinded us by gusts of snow and sand from Siberia. I dismounted and dragged you along with me. You reared up, snatching the reins from my hands, and suddenly the ground shifted beneath my feet, and now I lie at the bottom of a crevice of rock and ice, helpless and alone. How am I going to get out of here? Stop trotting above the crevice, or you will end up falling in too. Go. Find help. Go back to the yurts and tell my family. You, Altair, who won the race for young horses with me at the National Dam Festival. You who bear the name of the brightest star in the constellation Aquila. They will follow you. Go on. Fly. My stallion let out a long whinny of distress before turning around and heading back to the camp. I prayed to Tangri, the eternal blue sky, that help will arrive soon, before my body freezes in this icy tomb. I wiggle my toes, protected in boots lined with sheep's wool. I tense my leg muscles, they seem to be in one piece. I try to sit up, but a shooting pain in my chest and my right shoulder prevents me from continuing. I cannot move my right arm. I must have dislocated my shoulder. Oh well, it could have been much worse. I take a deep breath, grit my teeth, and transfer the weight to my left side to lift myself up before standing up straight. A few chunks of rock tumble down. I hear them ricocheting off the walls of the crevasse before the muffled silence returns. I can hear nothing but the blood throbbing in my temples. I look around my icy prison, searching for a way out. I am on a small ledge, a good 15 feet below the next one. The rock walls are virtually smooth, veined in places with water now frozen by the cold and hard as glass. I cannot see any natural land holds to attempt to climb up anywhere. In my fall, I lost my bag, of course, which contained extra food, a horsehair rope, matches, binoculars, a bowl, and a knife. I take off my left glove and search the pockets of my long deal, my long, warm coat, now torn to shreds. In one, I find some pieces of allure, which I wolf down immediately. This dried cheese will provide me with a bit of strength. The other pocket gapes open, torn to pieces. I am as helpless as a louse on a bald head. I could use a sharp piece of rock as an improvised ice axe. I feverishly search the small stone ledge I'm perched on. Nothing but snow and gravel and drops of blood dripping from my nose. Furious, I kick the snow. And I see a snake. I recoil instinctively. If it decides to wake from its hibernation, I'd look quite the idiot. As it's my only company in this crevasse, I take a closer look. I push it gently with my foot, and its skin comes apart slightly, revealing a bronze glow from underneath. I nudge the animal again, freeing from the carcass a sort of metal cylinder, around 8 inches long, not unlike a small rolling pin. I crouch down and take hold of it carefully. It feels solid and compact. I clutch it and test how sturdy it is by hitting against the ground with increasing force, and hope begins to build in me. I might be able to use it as an ice axe. But first, I need to regain the use of my right arm. I plant my feet, brace myself, rotate my upper body, and in one swift movement, slam my right side against the rock wall. A spike of pain shoots through me from head to toe, causing me to howl like a wild beast. Tears cloud my vision and I fall to my knees, breathless. I slowly return to my senses and try to remove my right arm. The pain is different, duller, but constant. But I can use my arm again. I slowly get to my feet and take a deep breath. I'm going to do it. Using my improvised axe, I tap on the channels of frozen water running down the walls to create notches large enough to slide a couple of fingers or toes inside. And soon, slowly and methodically, I struggle against the pain radiating throughout my arm. I manage to climb the feet separating me from the rocky bulge above. I rest here for a moment, crouching down, breathless but proud of this first victory. Then I look above me. If I continue at this rate, it's going to take me, at least 3 days without stopping to be able to reach the top. I fight off the waves of despair washing over me. I think of my brave Altair. I know that he will find his way back to the yurts, but how long will it be before my saviours find me and hoist me from this precipice? My heartbeat slowly returns to normal while I remain prone on this tiny ledge, but the tingling in my extremities forces me to get up. Doing nothing will cause my body and my mind to go numb, and I will fall asleep without realizing it. Come on, I have to fight. Continue to climb to feel alive, even if I only manage a few feet. But first I need to drink something. Using the metal cylinder, I break off a few ice cubes and let them melt in my mouth. I scan the wall to choose where to make my notches. It looks as though there's a metallic sheen a bit higher up, a sort of icy mirror much larger than the ice veins. I'll use that as a reference point and a place to rest, because I might be able to make an artificial ledge there. I focus on this goal, and a stubborn, like a horse, scratching the snow with its shoes to unearth a tuft of grass, I continue my ascent. It was high time that I reached this mirror den. I feel my muscles starting to seize up. Suspended in the air, I hammer on the surface like a madman, sending translucent crystals flying everywhere. The ice crackles. My eyelids are almost closed to stop the sharp crystals from scratching my eyes. Suddenly, the sound of my axe on the ice changes, vibrations resonating throughout my arm. It's as though I'm hitting a drum, unless fatigue has caused a ringing in my ears. I open my eyes and begin pounding again. The noise is real. Intrigued, I make two more notches to haul myself up, and almost fall backwards in terror at the vision in front of me. In the icy recess, I see a kind of metal ring attached to a leather band. I raise my gaze and find myself in front of a gruesome face, staring at me from milky eye sockets. A horse frozen in ice. So there we go, that's the end of chapter 1, as far as I'm aware. So thank you to Kapida Art and Chocolate Chip Cookie 16 for requesting the Let's Play. So more to come, I hope. We shall see. Anyway, guys, I hope you had a lovely day, and bye-bye.